My name is Joey, and for the last 2.5 years, I've lived full-time on a sailboat. I chose to move onto the boat because for several years I was interested in tiny house living. I also was sick of paying rent and of paying some stranger's mortgage, and I also didn't want to regret not doing this when I was older. So for several years leading up to buying the boat, I had been researching tiny houses and trying to figure out how I could make that work for me. So in addition to tiny houses, I had looked at van life, but living in the Caribbean, specifically on the island of St. Thomas, it didn't really look like the van was going to work out. There aren't really dump sites for waste. There aren't public places to park a van overnight. So I pivoted away from that idea, and the boat seemed to make a lot more sense. For most of my adult life, I have rented from somebody else. I owned a house briefly in my early 20s and then sold it. So I wasn't interested in paying somebody else's mortgage anymore, and figured I would rather invest in something that was my own and that I could own outright. I definitely had some apprehensions leading up to buying the boat, but when it came down to it, I started looking at it as, if I don't do this now, when would I ever do this? And I kind of thought about, when I get older, all the stories I would have from living on a boat, and that's not something I wanted to pass on just because I was a little nervous about it. So financially, it came down to, if I could buy the boat and if I could stick it out living on it for a year, then it would basically pay itself off in what I was saving by not paying rent. So between doing the math and just deciding to take the leap because I didn't want to regret not doing it, it turned out to be a pretty good choice for me. So there were several other smaller reasons that of course factored in, but those were the three main reasons why I chose to move aboard.